Dear viewers, welcome to this morning's edition of the newspapers on Osbc television. Sincere apologies for bringing you the program a little behind schedule. It was due to circumstances beyond our control. And here we are this morning on the newspapers. And we want to start from the front page of the Punch newspaper. From the Punch newspaper, we have these. Discos hike electricity tariff secretly. Consumers kick. And with this hike in electricity tariff, Nigerians are bound to make comments. And I am sure that with this development, we will have reactions in the passing week. In fact, it may spread to other weeks coming. And I know that this new year, Nigerians may resist. From the Vanguard newspaper, we have been borrowing to fund petrol subsidy. That is finance minister. That is quoting the finance minister, who said the federal government has been borrowing to fund petrol subsidy. And petrol subsidy has been a major problem to the Nigeria's economy. You know, Nigeria will have to take the petrol to other countries for refining, and it will be back to Nigeria for consumption or for usage. And that has cost a lot of money, apart from the subsidy, or added to the subsidy. There is a lot of money, and the money that is supposed to be sunk into the economy are being used to fund petrol alone, the petroleum sector alone. We have been borrowing to fund petrol subsidy. That is coming from the finance minister. And we go to another newspaper. The Sun newspaper. Nigeria's debt may hit 77 trillion naira by May 29. May 29, when the federal government, when President Muhammadu Buhari will hand over to another democratically elected president, by that time, Nigeria's debt may have hit 77 trillion naira. And it's a very serious thing, hoping that Nigeria will be able to cope with the load of debt that has been on the neck of Nigeria. Let's take another newspaper. From the Nation newspaper, Tinubu Shetima APC chiefs shut down Kano. This is reporting the campaign exploit of the presidential candidate of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate Shetima, as they got to Kano, Kano state capital, which is one of the commercial hub centers, commercial hubs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Tinubu Shetima APC chiefs shut down Kano. It's on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Shall we go to another newspaper now? The Guardian. On the front page of the Guardian, there is a headline here there that concerns the Nigeria's economy and Nigeria's politics. And I can see that it is also talking about the debt of Nigeria. And Nigeria, but I hope Nigeria will be able to cope under the yoke of this debt. I will go to another newspaper. Leadership newspaper, FG at Crossroads says debt profile may hit 72 trillion naira. That is another, we are still talking about the load of debt on the neck of the federal government of Nigeria. It is very serious, and we pray it doesn't affect the ordinary man, although it is already affecting the ordinary man, and payment of this debt will be a very serious one, because the federal government will have to look for ways of paying back the debt and certifying Nigerians too, who are at the receiving end of the debt load. FG at Crossroads says debt profile may hit 72 trillion naira. It's a serious one. It is found on the front page of the leadership newspaper. From the New Telegraph, Nigeria's total debt stock to hit 77 trillion naira by May 2023. The newspapers are bringing conflicting figures. We have different figures from different newspapers, and unfortunately, it's also revolved around the 70s. I mean, I'm talking about 71, 72, 73, 77. And all we know is that Nigeria is owing a lot. And the debt profile of Nigeria is capable of running this nation into serious economic crisis if care is not taken. And we only pray that the federal government will be creative enough to get the debt paid or seek for debt relief, as it were. Let's take another newspaper. FG, incoming administration will inherit 77 trillion naira debt. That is quoting the federal government, telling Nigerians that Nigeria new government that will be elected in February and March will inherit a total of 77 trillion naira debt. And it is coming from the front page of This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper says, for FG, incoming administration will inherit 77 trillion naira debt. Can we take another newspaper from that end? Blueprint. Fear of 77 trillion naira debt for Buhari's successor worries experts. It means experts in Nigeria are economic experts and financial experts are worried that Nigeria has incurred so much debt that will really affect the machinations and operations of the incoming government. Though the government is yet to be elected, but the fear is that a new government coming to inherit so much debt, will it be able to perform? That is the question that will be answered with time after the election. Fear of 77 trillion naira debt for Buhari's successor worries experts. Blueprint newspaper. We now go to the Nigerian Tribune. Presidential candidate. Local peculiarities to affect G5 governors' choices. The G5 governors are always in the news, especially now that Governor Wike commissions projects on daily basis and airs same on national TV all around the country. We should know that it is not yet uhuru for the G5 governors. They are still mopping around, they are still groping around to see if they can get a presidential candidate of their choice, apart from the candidate of their party, that is the People's Democratic Party. Yes, that is down from the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take the next newspaper. And we take the Punch. And we have taken the punch, and the punch, as we have reported the punch at the beginning of the program. Well, it is on this note that we shall be calling it a day on today's edition of the newspapers on OSBC television. It is from the roots of the News and Current Affairs Department of OSBC. On behalf of my executive producer, Akinola Olabi, and the producer, Oluwatoyin Yusuf, Babatunde Bola Tito is my name, I say good morning.